Good day and welcome to your first Newbie Nutrition. This is the recorded version, and you're going to still attend a live version with me on Zoom, which I'll go into more detail, but this is like your condensed version to give you enough information so that you can be on your way to do your meal prep and get prepared. So remember, you have a few days to get ready. You want to make sure you review this video as many times as you need to, okay? So a little bit about me, just a brief history. I've been doing this for a very long time, over 10 years. I used to have 3 studios, and now I have no studios since COVID, and my business is fully online, fully automated, and we're doing amazing, and girls are getting even better transformations than I did in the studios. And the reason is because I finally have more time to give to my clients. And whereas before it was like a race, I was always racing from studio to studio. I was working a lot for Reebok as well, and I was doing a transformation program at their head office. And so now, with technology and the comfort of my own home, I'm able to service you guys on a one-on-one through our app, through check-ins, through the Facebook, through the Zoom, and I'm able to give a lot more information. Like, I'm literally giving you everything that I've learned in the past 13 years, and I'm serving it to you over the next 90 days. So don't be in a rush to learn. It's going to be dripped to you over the 90 days so that you retain what you need to, and then you move on to the next module, okay? So that's a little bit about me. So just know, we're up to over, at least I'd say I'm at 8,000 to 10,000 transformations now. And you can't sit there and say things like, oh, it's for that kind of girl, or it must have been easy for her. If you take a look at all my success stories, every single woman comes from a different background, has different resources available to her. Some have large incomes, some have very small incomes. So you can't make excuses. I mean, you're done with the excuses if you've joined my program, as I know this, but you can't keep making excuses as to why this program worked for others and it doesn't work for you. The common denominator is the food, what they turned their habits and lifestyle into. So all those photos that you see of the women, these 5 women that you see, all of them have different backgrounds. Some have children, some do not. Some are teachers, some work corporate, some don't work. Everybody has different backgrounds, different families, different needs. And so what you have to realize is that they all put in the same effort when it came to learning the lifestyle and applying it to them. And that is why they are a transformation success story, which you're going to be too. Non-negotiables. So this is what you agreed to do, whether you had your conversation with one of my team members or with Carly. Chances are it was with one of the team members, or you're likely here through the referral of a friend, and that friend or the people on the phone told you that there's certain non-negotiables that you have to be aware of and committed to from day one. I am not going to make excuses or accept any excuses when it comes to these 7 items. Number 1, 10,000 steps per day. Non-negotiable. This is actually the minimum requirement for you as a human being. You have to be doing around 7 to 10K steps from now till the day you die. If you want to avoid things like your bones, just, your muscles and your joints just, not working, you want to make sure you get those 10,000 steps a day. And you'll see later on in the presentation how that contributes to your weight loss. If you look through the Facebook group page, you'll see a lot of girls say how much the 10,000 steps worked and how crucial they were to their success. 3 to 4 liters of water per day, non-negotiable. You have to make sure that you do this. I mean, I hear all sorts, oh, I work, or I'm at a desk, can't go to the washroom all the time. I was once there too. You have to make water hacks. So water stations in your office or at home to remind you to consume that water. And we'll teach you more about that. You wanna, maybe you do a liter in the morning, you do a liter at lunch, you do a liter in the evening. I used to do 2 liters in the evening when I came home because I was in the car a lot, but you have to get it done. Minimum 3 workouts per week. I will not accept 2, I will not accept 1. The minimum for you to see a transformation is 3 workouts per week. Yes, you can do up to 5 workouts. You're gonna see there's 5 workouts in your scheduler. We need you to start with 3, and if you're already used to doing 5, by all means, do all 5 that are in your app. You cannot substitute Peloton, your classes, for my classes. I need to know that what you're doing is what I am telling you to do because you're in my program, right? So I know that my workouts work. It's a combination of HIIT, strength training, as well as cardio. So those 3 elements is what's gonna get you, doesn't matter what shape you come into my program, even if you're super fit, these classes will get you in shape. You do them at your own pace. No rush, there's no competition. If it takes you, an hour to finish the class, that's fine. If you only wanna do half the class for the first week, that's fine too. Just keep moving. Meal prep, you must meal prep every single week. This is a mandatory part of the program. There's no such thing as winging it. You will do it this way and then you will assess whether that works for you or not. And I can pretty much guarantee it's gonna work for you. Zoom calls, now they might get repetitive, they might get redundant, they might be inconvenient. I really don't care. You signed up to do the 90 days that I'm prescribing you to do. And the way I designed it is to drip you information weekly so that you, by the time you're done your 90 days, you will know exactly how to continue, because I don't want my girls to come back to me unless we are refining and we're working on other goals. I don't want to see you back learning the same things. So do it right, do it once. Check-ins. You must check in every single week on your app, and we send you a template in your app, your Trainerize app. We send you a template every Sunday. You copy that template and you paste it and you fill it in. I'll tell you what it says. Oh, I don't have it here, but it says like current weight, last week's weight. You'll see a photo of it right now. Current weight, last week's weight, your wins, your losses, be as detailed as possible. This is a download of your week. And if I don't know what's going on with you, I can't properly assess you. Don't think that if you show up, that things are going smoothly, you don't need to check in, and then all of a sudden, you show up and you're like, I don't know what's happening. I've been doing everything. If you haven't been checking in, I can't help you. You check in, rain or shine, every single week. Even if you feel like crap about it, trust me, you are sending signals to your brain that your goals are important to you. Facebook group page. You're gonna learn 60% of the information through me. You're gonna learn 40% through your colleagues. You are 63% more likely to succeed if you see other girls winning and others trying to achieve what you're trying to achieve. You will miss out on a lot of information if you are not in the Facebook group page. So I strongly recommend, even for girls that don't have Facebook accounts, create a new account that is connected to an email that doesn't have any of your contacts. That way you'll just be this anonymous being in Facebook. Nobody will try to contact you, and you won't friend anybody. If it's the social aspect that you're trying to get away from, I get it. I don't blame you, because I know that the scrolling does get very time consuming, and then all of a sudden you're like an hour deep into Facebook and you didn't mean to be. So, but I'm providing you with knowledge and education that I need you to know. And there's a lot of things in the Facebook group, like there's extra videos, there's extra guides in there. We upload documents as they come, new stuff gets put in there. So you want to be on the Facebook group page. Trainerize. So this is Trainerize 101. This is where you'll find your workouts, your recipe videos, the accompany the recipe book, and the FAQ videos for all of the most common questions. So every week under the program summary, so the little kettlebell there, the pink kettlebell, when you click it, you're gonna see a program summary, and this is including it's gonna be like just a write-up, a message, a weekly message from me to you, and sometimes it'll have important links for you, so make sure you check that every week. Under the Rocket tab is where you find the photo box, and that's where you submit your weekly photos. Under the head icon under your Rocket tab is where you will submit your check-in every Monday, okay? And the calendar icon lays out your workouts for the week. You won't see your workouts until Monday. They get uploaded Sunday night automatically through the app. So it will look like you're only getting the same week, but you're not. It will upload. What else can I say about Trainerize? You know, navigate through it, read through the FAQ videos, please, because you will find a lot of the redundant questions that keep getting asked are all in there. So read through the FAQs before you ask your question on Facebook group page. I need you to take initiative in researching answers and getting them yourself. Facebook, we went through it. So here is a picture of the Facebook group, what it looks like. And, you know, something you should know, the magnifying glass in the Facebook, you see it there, it's circled in red. The magnifying glass, if you want to search the group for chicken, you're going to see like 100 girls that posted their chicken recipes. If you want to search allowable soups that Sue has approved, search the word soup. So I want you to utilize that tool as much as possible because it's going to just add to your knowledge. And then you see here on the far right is where all the files are. If you click the Files tab, you'll get all those files. So a lot of the slides that I do every Wednesday are already uploaded in the Files part. So let's get into the food. So a big reason why I started, the reason why I came up with Newbie Nutrition in the first place is a lot of it's to do with what my kids were going through at the time and myself. So back when I had Julius, he was 2 years old. Ariana was just born. He was 2.5. And I realized, oh my gosh, I can't wing it anymore. I really need to get down to give me 10 recipes that work that I can just be on replay with. And that's when I first came up with my recipe book. It was existent right before then, but I tweaked it to make sure that it didn't include anything with processed. And so the reason is, you know, high fructose corn syrup, which you're gonna see in cereals, in 80% of the grocery items, the grocery store, you're gonna see high fructose corn syrup in there. What does it do? Well, high fructose corn syrup does drive inflammation, which is associated with diabetes, heart disease, cancer, ADHD, dementia, fatty liver disease. Well, what else does that mean? It is, it's doing a lot of damage. We're gonna get to that in the next slide. But, you know, the cereals, the jams, the pastas, the pasta sauce, or anything that came from the supermarket did not have high fructose corn syrup 30 years ago when we were eating it as children in our cereal. So I'm 43. So gosh, you know, 35 years ago when I was 8 years old eating cereal, it did not have high fructose corn syrup. It was just being introduced in the 80s. And so we didn't have childhood diabetes in the 80s. It came about then. And the reason being is, you know, as they were increasing the amount of high fructose corn syrup in foods, then you saw children coming with these strange diseases that didn't have a name, and they coined it childhood diabetes because it was showing the same symptoms as somebody with fatty liver disease in adults. So, you know, we start using it more and more in food. Why? Well, why would they put this harmful chemical that basically is trying to kill us in food? Well, it increases the shelf life. So the cereals that we had, that you would open the box and it would go bad, or there would be mold on it, or you knew you couldn't eat that cereal that day and you threw it away. This increases shelf life. So, you know, cereals are staying, crackers, everything, it's staying in your cupboards a lot longer than it should. It's kind of like the first hint that that's not food, is it? The second reason is it makes you highly addictive to the product. So when this was first introduced to the 10 conglomerates, so the companies like, I'm not going to name the companies, but the 10 companies that are responsible for the food production in North America started putting it in their foods because it was sold to them as a chemical that's going to keep your customers highly addicted to your product. So imagine, like, you are the president of company XYZ and you produce the, pop, and a scientist comes up to you and says, hey, we've got this product and it's going to make your customers extremely addicted to your product, and it's going to last longer in your warehouses, so you can just keep producing and save money, and you can ship it out when you feel like it and sell it, and people will be addicted. And you'll say, sure, because companies, their interest is not your health. Their interest is their bottom line. Their interest is making shareholders money. So we have to stop the trust of, well, if they're selling it, it must be good, it must be okay for us. It's not. So next slide, the density of 500 calories. So if you were to eat something like half of a Delicio pizza, for example, a pizza, just a pizza from a frozen from the frozen food, a pizza from the freezer. Okay, frozen pizza has high fructose corn syrup sprayed on it, right? And so it's only going to fill your tummy. You can see the diagram there. It's only going to fill your stomach 10%. So I just ate 500 calories and I'm only full 10%. What am I going to do with the other 90% of my stomach that is empty? I'm going to look for more food. And there's tiny little receptors on the sides of your stomach, the lining of your stomach. There's tiny receptors there that tell your stomach that it's full, your stomach, your microbiome talks to your brain and says, I'm full, stop eating. Well, that's cool, but those don't go off when your tummy isn't full. And if you're gonna eat something that has high fructose corn syrup, be prepared to be hungry right after. When I was in university, I'd go to my husband's, then he was my boyfriend, go to his house and we'd have those pizzas, okay? And then I'd be like, but why can I inhale like 2 of them? No problem. It was never satisfying. And my husband, forget it, he'd have one of those. That would just be an appetizer. And the whole pizza's like 1,000 calories, and that would just be a snack for him because it was not satiating. It was not, the receptors in your brain are not going off saying, stop eating, you're full. But a 500 calorie meal, that's pretty substantial, especially for a normal sized woman. So fried foods, anything fried, so is only gonna fill up your tummy. So it's a little bit better, but take a piece of fried fish and it's only gonna fill up your tummy 25%. Still not that great. The receptors along the side of your tummy are still not going off. So you're gonna find food for that to fill that 75% gap until you're full. So meat, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Protein fills up your stomach 65%. That's pretty damn good in my books. I mean, the receptors are starting to go off. Your brain is kind of telling you, it's like, hey, I'm getting full. You're almost gonna stop eating. Vegetables, in my world, vegetables are king. And this is one of the main reasons why. You see that the 500 calories of vegetables goes right up to the brim of your stomach, and what does it do? It's full 100%, and it's sending the receptors off to your brain to say you're full on 500 calories of like salad with chicken and a complex carb, for example. So these are food rules, and I didn't make this up. This is science. And so you have to realize that that's why I take so much time to teach you the whys, so that you understand, so that when you are eating that green, you're very much aware. Your brain is processing that this is going to fill me up, which is going to be fantastic, and I'm going to feel great. At the end of the day, I feel like as human beings, we just want to feel full and satiated. We don't want to feel like we're starving. And you'll find, give it 2 weeks, your taste buds will renew themselves. That's why it's very, very important that you stick to my rules. But you need to give yourself that 2 weeks of 100% effort to make so that these food rules do in fact work for you. Because the damage that you've been doing to your body all this time does take time to undo, repair, and, start on a better foot. And that's what we're doing. So your first 2 to 3 weeks is very, very important. Another fun fact about vegetables, and you're going to learn more about estrogen dominance later on. Vegetables, the reason why it's 16 ounces is vegetables, fiber forces out excess estrogen through your large intestine. So that's why the heavy weight on vegetables, it must be 16 ounces. You have to weigh it. You have to get a scale. You have to weigh your vegetables. And once you understand that whole process, it's going to be very easy for you. But the 16 ounces of vegetables, and I teach you how to spend it. There's a veggie shake. I teach you how to make your salads. I teach you how to steam your broccoli. And you get that 16 ounces in, you're going to be very satiated, very full. It's going to force out that excess estrogen faster than you know it, without pills, prescriptions, or creams. And you will be in a very different position in exactly 21 days, but I really need you to follow exactly the steps that I'm telling you. Don't skip. So here's Nancy. I like sharing Nancy's story because Nancy is the perfect example of reversing health. Nancy came in with type 2 diabetes, 75-pound weight gain, and an autoimmune disease that was controlling her life, 10 pills per day. After 9 months of dedication, March to December, 75-pound weight loss gone, diabetes gone, 0 pills per day. Now, her quality of life has changed. She's reversed a disease with lifestyle changes. So in my world, first things first. Listen, I know that we can't solve everything with food, and there might be things that you have to go on pills on. I am not a doctor, and I don't claim to be anything near a doctor. I am saying I am a lifestyle specialist. I want to help you incorporate the habits and techniques and recipes and everything I've done in 13 years that has helped thousands of women to change their quality of life and adapt a healthier lifestyle, which in the end is just going to give them overall health and wellness. And that's why we're here, right? So typical day before Sue is, this is the typical office worker. On my way to work, I get a bagel with cream cheese and a coffee. Mid-morning, you're getting, you brought an Activia yogurt because they told you might look like that girl if you eat it, right? Marketing. Activia yogurt, you have that as your mid-morning snack and you're like, I am healthy, I am body health, right? At lunch, everybody in the office is ordering Swiss chalet or some kind of takeout. Don't tell me it doesn't happen. I've worked in enough offices and I've taught in enough offices to know this does happen a lot. Even after I've transformed people, they're still doing takeout lunches. So you get the Swiss chalet, let's say in a salad. Swiss chalet has high fructose corn syrup in their sauce. Hate to break it to you, that's why it's so addictive. And in the afternoon, you hit a wall and you're like, okay, I need a bag of chips. I need that something, right? 3 o'clock. It's 3 o'clock. Let's go get our chips. Let's get our cookie. Let me get that S cookie. I don't know what it is, what your vice was, but I know you're doing it. You have a coffee to control your blood sugar because your blood sugar is dropping because, well, really, you haven't eaten the right foods throughout the day to support a stable blood sugar. At dinner, you are consciously healthy because you do the groceries and you're buying fish and vegetables and brown rice. However, all the mistakes that you've made throughout the day are sabotaging that healthy dinner and leave you wondering why you can't seem to shake off the 10, 20, 50, 70 pounds, whatever it is. After dinner, you get 2 cookies and some grapes because the kids had 4 or your husband had 4 and you're you're a healthy person and you're only gonna have 2 cookies today. So I've been there, okay? I've been there, and I still go there. Don't get me wrong, I still go there, but I know how to control it. So this entire day, my focus used to be sugar, and this has to stick with you, okay? My focus was sugar. 69 grams of sugar is way too much for any of my clients to lose weight. Now, prior to Fitness Pal and macros, I was teaching this way, and it was based on one thing. We tracked one thing. There was no calorie counting. We tracked one thing, and that was sugar. So in my programs, in all my programs, you will be around 20 to 30 grams of sugar. I will know that you are successfully losing weight when you're only eating 20 to 30 grams of sugar. Once you go past that threshold, I know you're not eating the right foods, because in order to get 20 to 30 grams of sugar, I know how much vegetables you need to consume, how much proteins, and how much carbs you need to consume. So this particular person was consuming 70 grams almost of sugar a day. Another example, keep that example in your head. Next example is a day in the life of Jason. So Jason was a client to me, type 1 diabetic, so not the diabetes that you can reverse. And Jason was eating, he lived in Europe, but he was Canadian, and he was traveling. He lived in a hotel 3 weeks out of 4 weeks of every month. So very much, and the reason why I show this is because if Jason can do it, anybody can do it. He did it out of a hotel. So Jason was eating the standard North American diet. So you see in his breakfast there, he's got yogurt, he's got cereal, he's got orange juice, and a coffee that probably had cream. Now Jason was trying to lose weight. So because this was him attempting to lose weight. He just didn't know how. It was not working for him. Mid-morning, he says, Sue, I'd have a bowl of grapes, a handful of grapes if I was in a meeting. At lunch, he'd have a Clubhouse sandwich and a salad, not bad. And mid-afternoon, he'd hit that wall and have a bag of chips. And at dinner, he says, Sue, I swear I'm ordering chicken or fish with veggies and like maybe a carb, and I'm not losing weight. So I devised up a plan for Jason to do, and this was before my online. I wasn't doing online at the time, but we were doing Skype meetings. Do you remember Skype meetings? So I got Jason to do black coffee and egg whites with greens. And you'll see that a lot, greens paired with your proteins. It just increases digestion and helps you absorb the protein even better. Greens are king. That's all you have to remember, that greens are king. Mid-morning, he's eating an apple and almonds, same as what I prescribed for you. At lunch, he'd have a piece of clean protein. He would have to request this at a restaurant. He'd have to say, I need a piece of clean protein. And he would have it with baked greens and a salad. I said to him, you've got to order vegetables at every meal. Mid-afternoon, he'd have a clean protein shake, and then at dinner, 7-ounce filet, some Brussels sprout salad, a handful of sweet potato fries for him because, he's a 250-pound man. He walks a lot in Europe, and, that was his plan. That's not your plan. After dinner, I'd say, Jason, you can have 2 rice cakes and some almond butter. If you're still hungry, if you're working late, but he had to cut food off at a minimum by 8 p.m. and be in bed by 10 to 11. But that didn't always happen. So remember the previous example was 69 grams of sugar. How much sugar do you think is on the left side? I'm gonna give you 6 seconds to just come up with a number in your head. How much sugar is on Jason's bad side, that he was attempting to lose weight, it was not working? Got your answer? How much sugar do you think was on the right side? And I mean, if you were paying attention, you know my threshold, 20 to 30 grams, right? How many calories on the left? Got your number? How many calories on the right? Okay, I'm gonna show you the stats now. So if you see here, right away, your eyes are gonna go to the sugar. 107 grams on the left, 13 grams of sugar on the right. All right, see how that works? On the left, how many calories? They're both the same. So all this craziness about calorie is a calorie, it's not. Tim Hortons BLT 600 calorie is not the same as you making your own meal at home with the right amounts of vegetables, the right amounts of protein, and the right amounts of carbohydrates. So he lost 43 pounds in 2 months using my plan, which was the same calories. So he was always satisfied. And that's what you will see on this program. You're always going to be satiated with the right foods, but it's up to you to make the right choices. I can teach you. I can bring the horse to water. I cannot make you drink it. So if you're going to be lazy with your meal prep, I'll call you out on it. I can see it. I can see it from there. If you're going to, I can see when you cut corners. I can see when you don't attend meetings. I can see when you're not learning from the girls in the Facebook group page. I see it all because I can tell by how you are acting, how you're reacting, your questions in your check-ins. I can tell. So, let's get to the food. We're going straight to the food. Okay, pre-breakfast. So 30 to 35 minutes before your breakfast, you're gonna have to do your 3-day pre-breakfast routine. And so you wanna do all 3 days. You don't wanna skip out on any of them because they all hold different benefits that are going to react with your body and provide you with different benefits. So you need to make sure you do all 3. Does it have to be, if you ran out of your Skanusa, do your warm lemon water and your apple cider vinegar. Can you take ACV pills? You can. Can you take apple cider vinegar gummies? No, you cannot. That has high fructose corn syrup in it. So you do warm water with lemon. You do day 2, you do your 2 Skanusa pills. Remember to order the gold label Skanusa. It's considered a food, but acts very much like a supplement. Some girls take it every day because they find it just gives them good energy. So you're free to do that. Follow the labels on all supplements, okay? I can never recommend to you anything different than what the label says legally. Tablespoon of apple cider vinegar, dilute it with water and chug it, okay? Drink it. See all these amazing benefits. Apple cider vinegar soothes your upset stomach. Antibiotic properties. It actually has even lots of properties that aid in repair in your digestive system. That's why a lot of girls who come to the program with GERD, with low HCl, low hydrochloric acid in their stomach, apple cider vinegar actually works to increase the hydrochloric acid. So we want to, the acidic acid suppresses appetite, increases metabolism, reduces water retention, interferes with you absorb less starchy carbs when you have apple cider vinegar. Lemon water aids in digestion, boosts immune system, source of potassium, flushes out toxins, cleanses your system, fights wrinkles, sunspots, high in vitamin C. There's a whole list. Reduces anxiety, depression, all these things you want for yourself. Chlorella, which is found in the Skanusa. You can also have just pure chlorophyll, which you could find in a liquid form at the health food store, and you can take that if you prefer. Remember, all supplements can counteract with any prescriptions, so it's up to you to make sure your doctor, if you're on any kind of prescription, you need to get the okay about the diet, about the food, and about the supplements in the program. That is on you to get permission from your doctor. So breakfast, there are 7 options here. You'll find them all in your recipe book. Protein pancakes is by far probably the most favorite, and probably it's kind of difficult, not difficult to make, but it might take you 1 or 2 tries. Make sure you get the right pan. There's a Star Frit pan, and it's a roti pan. It's very thin, it's like small. You'll see me using it in the videos. You can have the protein pancakes. Egg white muffins are also very popular. Stuff them with vegetables. Protein shake option, protein powder, oats, 1/3 dry or less of a tablespoon of peanut butter, berries, blend with water only. Protein shakes are only to be blended with water and ice. Unless you're having the loaded protein shake, we do not allow any kind of almond milk, coconut milk, oat milk. There's nothing on my list that has those, so please don't ask for them. Then there's the Ezekiel bread with nut butter and protein shake. There is an option for everybody. There is a vegan list as well that Carly will send to you if you are vegan. Mid-morning snack, the favorite amongst most is the green apple and 5 almonds. I'm a fan of doing my green soup or a green smoothie as my morning option, so which is in your recipe book. So, you know, look at your options and make one. Lunch has to be 4 to 5 ounces of lean protein, chicken, fish, egg white for the first 4 weeks. Okay, I don't want you experimenting with any red meat until I tell you to. And you'll learn more about why we don't have red meat in the first 2 months is because of estrogen reasons. So we want to eliminate that. We want to keep it very simple. White proteins, chicken, fish, egg, or if you're vegan, you're doing tofu and you have your allowable list of beans. You cannot mix both vegan and meat eater options together. You're either vegan or you're not. Okay, there's no in between. Pescatarian is pescatarian. You eat fish, but you can't incorporate the fish with the beans. Unless I analyzed your diet. That's why, again, it's really important for you to put in specifics in your check-ins. That's where we read them, okay? I have a whole team of people that we're all analyzing your check-ins. Half a cup of complex carb, half a cup brown rice, quinoa, sweet potato. Now, those are the 3 gluten-free options. If you find, like we've eliminated gluten sources from mostly everywhere in your diet, but if you find you're not that gluten sensitive, that is when you can reintroduce Ezekiel or Joseph's pita, which both have gluten, but they are sprouted, so your body digests it easier. Don't look at Ezekiel as, oh, it's a gluten-free bread, I can substitute another. Absolutely not, okay? First of all, I haven't seen many sprouted breads as good as Ezekiel, and the gluten-free, Ezekiel doesn't have any sugars. A lot of gluten-free breads have tons of sugar. That's what they're putting in it. Vegetables, remember, vegetables are unlimited in Newbie. So I need you, but the minimum is 16 ounces. So I need you to make sure you need to open up your fridge and see green, and it should be cut, washed, ready to go so that you're never hungry. My go-to when when I come home, okay, whether it's after a long day, pickup, I'm seeing stars. The first thing I do is I've got pre-made salads and I've got salads in Tupperware. I grab one, my dressing is already pre-made and dressing that you have in your book, and I make that while just to get my blood sugar back, while I'm making the kids their snacks, their meals. That's the first thing I do so I don't start seeing stars and I'm not, hangry. Vegetables. Or my apple and my almonds. That's another one. Fats, 3 to 4 servings a day. It's on your allowable list. So I've spent it for you. So you're allowed 3 to 4 in the day. The first one you have is your nut butter with your pancake or on toast, if you spent it at breakfast. The second one is your 5 almonds. The third one is your dressings on salads throughout the day. You don't want to go over 2 tablespoons per salad of dressing, which is not just olive oil. It's got the ACV and it's got the mustard. Your 4th is coming from foods and preparation of food. I mean, there is still fats in foods. It might be in olive oil that you use to marinate your chicken. You have to account for that 4th. So you have to be very careful with going past that. Don't go past your 4 fats. So let's review. Protein, you get 3 portions of protein, 3 to 4, depends on how much you start at, what your weight is. 4 to 5 ounces each. So, you're looking at 15 to 20 ounces of protein in the day. 15 ounces if you're a girl that's like below 165. 20 ounces if you're above, I'd say 175, you're gonna have more protein. 2 carbs per day. You've got your morning carb, which could be your toast or your oats, and you've got your lunchtime carb, which is your brown rice, quinoa, or sweet potato, or your Ezekiel. So 2 carbs per day. So we've covered your protein, your carbs. Vegetables are carbs as well, but we're gonna give it a number, 16 ounces of veggies. It's like a very large bowl of vegetables. And number 4 is your fats, 3 to 4 servings a day. And that's it. Like, that's the 4 things you need to remember every single day at every meal. The thermic effect of food. So protein is king when it comes to the thermic effect of food. What that means is up to 30% of your calories, when it's coming from protein, pure sources of protein like chicken, fish, up to 30% is eliminated through digestion, absorption, and disposal. So you literally get rid of it, right? Which is awesome. That's why, you know, bodybuilders love protein, because it's like a free food. 30% of it is gone and it gets you lean. So that's why the importance of, you know, you have to have your protein in each meal. That's probably the biggest problem of most vegans, is they don't get enough protein until they come into my plan, and I'm making them get enough protein. Carbs, only 5 to 10% is eliminated in this process. So we limit the carbs slightly, and fats as well, only 5 to 10% is eliminated in digestion, absorption, disposal. So when you exercise in a diet that's high in thermic foods, you increase your metabolism naturally. This is happening even while you're resting. So eating that fish and veggies is actually doing a lot of work in the background. Some thermogenic foods, fish, chicken, olive oil, turmeric, green tea, ginger, peppers, coffee, apple cider vinegar, eggs, all these foods, and especially we have some thermic spices like turmeric, you will see that in phase 2 of your plan, but we include everything. Afternoon snack, same as the morning snack. Dinner, you want to have 4 to 5 ounces of lean protein and salad, baked greens, steamed, blanched. This is where you're going to have at least 2 different vegetables on your dinner table. So it could be a salad and some baked, or a salad and some blanched, but you need to have at least 2 that make up around 8 ounces of vegetables, or you're not going to be full. And then your amount of protein, okay? No carbs at dinner for now. Not forever, for now. If you're still hungry, water first. Usually we need water. You need to practice going to bed early, because it's just really important for the success of this program that you're getting a decent, you know, minimum 6 hours of sleep. I need you to be getting around 8 hours for your body to burn efficiently. You could have half a protein shake and go to bed. It can be, you know, a small meal. Here's all your list of don'ts, okay? Make sure, you know this. If it's not in a list, and if it's not on a list, the general rule is then you can't have it. And that's why we have the don'ts list, just to make it really drive it home that these are not allowed. And so you're going to learn all the different reasons for why each and every item is not allowed, and why that will contribute to how well you do on the program. Condiments. So you want to make sure you really marinate your food well. I like to marinate the night before. It really makes a difference. Remember, no salt for now, unless your doctor says you need salt. So you have to check with your doctor. If you don't have any major health issues, then, and your blood pressure is fine, then I would like for you to omit salt, because I don't know how much salt you're using, and I need your taste buds to renew themselves over the next 2 weeks. So I need it to know, what does broccoli taste like without salt and oil and this and that. I need you to really put forth effort into marinating in order for this to really work for you. Ordering at a restaurant, we're gonna cover another time. And you know what? Look at your sample 7 days of meals. Print it out. It's in your commitment code. Here's a program overview, but you know, you want to just make sure you have the commitment code in front of you in your kitchen, printed out in a binder as a reference so that you never make a mistake, so that you're less likely to. The more effort you put into this, the more you'll get out of it. So I look forward to seeing you in your first nutrition session, and we will be going into like a little bit more detail. Watch this as many times as you need to, because we need you to understand this first. It is basically the fundamentals of the program. Thank you.